Cubs fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you will have you questioning everything you thought you knew about this 2025 season. Right now, as we speak, there's a storm brewing on the north side that's got the entire baseball world talking. And frankly, I'm not sure my heart can handle much more of this emotional roller coaster we call loving the Chicago Cubs. Listen, I've been following this team through thick and thin, through curses and championships, through heartbreak and hope. But what's happening right now might be the wildest chapter yet. We're sitting pretty at 39-23, leading the National League like we own the damn thing. But behind the scenes, oh man, behind the scenes there's drama unfolding that would make Shakespeare jealous. First, there's this young phenom in center field who's making grown men weep with joy and scouts scramble to rewrite their scouting reports. This kid is doing things that have people whispering about MVP trophies and comparing him to legends. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, Cubs faithful. Then we've got front office whispers about a potential ace acquisition that has some analysts screaming, genius, while others are yelling, disaster. The price tag? A cool $56 million, and the risk factor is through the roof. Some say it could save our season, others warn it might destroy our future. And if that wasn't enough to give you anxiety attacks, there's talk of an even bigger move. A blockbuster that could bring a $116 million all-star to Wrigley Field. The kind of trade that either makes you a hero or gets you run out of town on a rail. Make sure you hit that like button and drop a comment below, because this story is about to get intense. And don't forget to subscribe because Cubs drama never sleeps, and neither do we. The question isn't whether this season will be memorable, it's whether our hearts can survive what's coming next. So grab your rally caps, Cubs fans, because we're about to dive into a story that starts with one magical young man who's got the entire National League shaking in their cleats. Cubs fans, meet your new obsession, Pete "Crow" Armstrong. Yeah, that's right, the same kid who struggled through 2024 while we all wondered if he'd ever live up to the hype. Well, guess what? He's not just living up to it. He's obliterating every expectation we ever had. This 23-year-old center field wizard is currently slashing .275, 312 Gs, 557 with 16 home runs and 53 RBIs. And folks, we're only 62 games into the season. Do the math. He's on pace for 42 homers and 55 stolen bases. 55. When's the last time you saw a Cubs player threaten 40-40? Try never because it's never happened in franchise history. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. Bleacher Report just dropped a bombshell article calling Crow Armstrong the National League MVP frontrunner. Not candidate, not dark horse, frontrunner. This kid has a 3.9 WAR, trailing only Aaron Judge's 4.9, and he's making defensive plays that have opposing managers shaking their heads in disbelief. We're talking about a player who's simultaneously chasing his first Gold Glove and potentially the Platinum Glove while putting up offensive numbers that would make Andre Dawson proud. The 5-tool package is complete, Cubs fans, and it's happening right here on the north side. Sure, Shohei Ohtani is still the betting favorite for MVP, but ask yourself this. When's the last time a Cubs player dominated both sides of the ball like this? When's the last time we had a legitimate MVP conversation in June? Chris Bryant in 2016? Well, lightning might be striking twice. The kid who was supposed to be a defensive specialist is now mashing baseballs into the bleachers while stealing bases like Ricky Henderson and making catches that leave Wrigley Field speechless. Every game feels like we're watching history unfold. But Cubs fans, as incredible as Crow Armstrong's breakout has been, it's created a different kind of pressure in the front office. When you're leading the National League and you've got an MVP candidate, suddenly everyone expects you to go all in. And that brings us to some very dangerous waters that have Cubs management walking a tightrope between glory and disaster. Here's where things get absolutely terrifying, Cubs faithful. With great success comes great temptation. And right now, our front office is staring down the barrel of a trade that could either cement this magical season or blow up in our faces like a Wrigleyville firework gone wrong. Sandy Alcantara, remember that name? The 2022 National League Cy Young Award winner who signed a 5-year, $56 million deal and looked untouchable just 3 seasons ago? Well, he's available, he's desperate, and he's exactly the kind of big-name move that makes Cubs fans either celebrate in the streets or burn their jerseys in Grant Park. Here's the terrifying reality. Alcantara has a 7.89 ERA this season. 7.89. He's given up more earned runs than any pitcher in baseball, and analysts are openly wondering if he'll ever be the same pitcher who dominated the National League. But here's what's keeping Cubs management up at night. He's still got that Cy Young pedigree, and desperate times call for desperate measures. We've lost Justin Steele for the entire season after elbow surgery. Shota Imanaga is on the injured list. Our rotation ERA sits at 400, ranking 19th in the league. We're leading the division with smoke and mirrors, and everyone knows it. The question isn't whether we need pitching help. It's whether we're willing to mortgage our future for a broken-down ace who might never find his form again. Fansided's Jordan Campbell put it perfectly when he warned that trading for Alcantara could backfire badly. We're talking about giving up top prospects for a pitcher who might never return to elite form. Sound familiar, Cubs fans? We've walked this road before, and it usually ends with us wondering what might have been. The Cubs would essentially be banking on their ability to fix Alcantara, turning him back into the dominant force he once was. It's the kind of high-risk, high-reward move that either makes you look like a genius or gets you fired by Labor Day. But wait, Cubs fans, because if you think the Alcantara situation is stressful, you haven't heard about the real blockbuster that's got Wrigley field executives sweating through their suits. Cubs fans, forget everything I just told you about Sandy Alcantara, because there's a much bigger fish swimming in these trade deadline waters, and his name is Zach Gallen. We're talking about a legitimate ace with a $116 million price tag who could transform this Cubs rotation from questionable to downright terrifying. Gallen finished 5th in NL Cy Young voting in 2022 and was a finalist the following season. Yes, he's struggling this year with a 5.13 ERA, but over the last 4 seasons, this man has a 3.44 ERA and has made at least 28 starts each year. He's healthy, he's proven, and he's exactly what championship teams are built around. Here's where it gets absolutely wild. The Arizona Diamondbacks might actually make him available. With Corbin Burns heading for Tommy John surgery and their playoff hopes fading, Arizona might be forced to sell. And when a team like the D-backs starts selling, aces like Gallen become available to teams like us. The beauty of this potential deal, Gallen becomes a free agent after this season, so we wouldn't just be trading for a rental. We'd be trading for an audition. If he comes to Chicago and rediscovers his form, we could lock him up long-term. If he doesn't work out, we let him walk and still got a playoff push out of the deal. But Cubs fans, here's what has me losing sleep at night. Fan-sided Zachary Rotman warns that there will be a bidding war for Gallen. Every contender in baseball will be calling Arizona, and we'll be competing against deep-pocketed teams who want the same thing we do, a proven ace for a championship run. This is the moment of truth, Cubs faithful. We've got Pete Crow Armstrong playing like an MVP, we're leading the National League, and we've got a legitimate shot at something special. The question isn't whether we should go for it, it's whether we're brave enough to make the moves that separate champions from also-rans. Hit that like button if you want to see the Cubs go all in on Zach Gallen. Drop a comment below and tell me if you think this front office has the guts to make the big move when it matters most. And don't forget to subscribe because this trade deadline is about to get absolutely insane. Cubs fans, we've waited long enough for magic to return to Wrigley Field. The question is, are we ready to pay the price that champions pay, or are we going to watch another golden opportunity slip through our fingers like so many seasons before?